Hello everyone, and thank you for checking out my Row, Row, Row Your Boat tutorial. Now, I love this tune, and a couple of reasons that I love it. One, because it's just a lovely piece. It's a very simple piece. It's so pleasant that it can even lull a child to sleep, or sometimes me. I've fallen asleep a couple of times midway through concert playing this song, which was very awkward. Very awkward because nobody gave me any blankets. And the other thing I love about this song is that it's what's called a round. And a round is a piece of music where you can sort of start at any point in the song, even while someone else is playing it, and it's still going to sound pretty good. And the reason for that is because we only have two chords in this entire song. And really, we don't even need that second chord. So all we have is an F and a C. And you'll see those two letters both with diagrams underneath them, spread around this music. I believe we have 4 F diagrams and 1 C diagram. But before I get too into those diagrams, let's just talk quickly about what a chord is. I know we talked about it in class, but I'd like to refresh your memories. And essentially we have 2 different ways of playing, oops, that's my phone, 2 different ways of playing ukulele. You can either play one string at a time, and we'd call this playing a single note. So you can see you can play them just like that, or you can play them faster, or you can play a couple notes at the same time, and that is what is called a chord. So because we have 4 strings on the ukulele, we can play as many as 4 notes at a single time. So I'm going to demonstrate right here with the F chord, which is the first chord and the main chord of this song. If I play all those 4 notes at the same time, we have a 4-note chord. So I'm strumming this chord. Strumming is just when I play all of the notes with my right hand. And you can either do that with a pick, or you can just do it, you can see I have no pick today. I'm just using, there I am. I'm just using my thumb. So let's talk about that little chord diagram now. Go to the F, the letter F, kind of near the top left of your page. And you're going to see that there's a little box that has 4 vertical lines underneath it, and about 5 or 6 horizontal lines. Vertical lines being lines that go up and down, and horizontal lines that go right and left. And in the top of those boxes, we have 2 black circles and 2 white circles. Now, essentially, what the circles are telling you is if they're black, it's telling you where to put your fingers. And if they're white circles, it's telling you to hit those strings, but do not put your fingers on them. So white is play, but not with your left hand, just with your right hand. Okay, so we're going to read it sort of left to right, just like you were reading a book. And that means that first line, that first horizontal line, that first up and down line, has a black circle in the second space. So if we look at our ukulele, we have 1, 2. So that's how we'll find the second space. And I'm going to put my second finger here, my second or middle finger. Under that we have, to the right of that, we have a white circle just above the darker black line, or the slightly thicker black line at the top. And if you want to know what that black line is, I'm going to hold my ukulele up to the camera. You have this white, it's actually white on the ukulele, at least on my ukulele. That's called the nut of the ukulele, and that's what that thicker black line is showing you. So if you want to think, what is this over here? Well, it's essentially a little diagram of your ukulele, and that's why we call it a chord diagram. So let's go back to that. We have 2nd fret, then we have no frets or no fingers down, and then we're going to have another black dot, and that's going to be in the 1st fret. So I'm going to use my first finger to play that. See how that sounds? And then finally we have another white circle, and that's at your far right vertical or up and down line, and it's just another white circle. So if we play them all together, we have a pretty pleasant sounding chord. It's called the F chord. That doesn't sound too bad. So I'm just going to stop myself right over there. And maybe, before I even get to that, I was going to play you the song, but I also want to show you the other way that I've written the F chord on the page. I nearly forgot, but look underneath that chord diagram, and you're going to see 4 lines with numbers on them. It's right beside the 3 letters that spell out T-A-B, which is short for tablature, which is just another way of reading music on a ukulele, or really you can use it with any stringed instrument, but today we're talking about ukuleles. And those numbers are telling us where to put our fingers, and the lines are showing us ukulele. So rather than thinking of the ukulele as up and down, we'll think of it as, whoop, there we go, right and left. Right and left. So the one weird thing about this is that on the tab line, or on the tablature line, the 2 is at the very bottom. However, that's actually the top of our ukulele. I know, a little strange, but we'll get used to it, right? Okay. After a while, it starts to make sense. So 2 is up here. Then we have a 0, and the 0 means don't put your fingers on it, unless it's your right finger, of course. You're going to need that finger to hit the string. Then we have a 1, put your finger there, and then a 0. So you see, it gives us the exact same thing that the chord diagram did. And if I play it, it sounds the same as well. Just 2 ways to make it easier. Whatever one you like is fine by me for reading your chords. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Row, Row, Row Your Boat just one time using only these chords. And you'll see that I have each chord, especially, or at least on the tab part, I've written 4 times. So that means I'm going to play the chord 4 times per bar. It's going to sound like this. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay. So that's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice sounding song, and we're going to definitely try it that way, but we're also going to try a more advanced version. And the advanced version is going to have a chord change. So let's zip down to the bottom right part of the music. And what we're going to see is a chord diagram that isn't like the others, and that is a chord diagram for the chord C. Now, let's take a look at that. On the C chord diagram, we have 3 white circles and 1 black circle. So what that means, if we read it from left to right, like we did with the F, we have your first string, no fingers. Your second string is another white circle, so no fingers. Your third string, or your E string, has another white circle, so no fingers. This has turned out to be a pretty easy chord, actually. And then we have our first fretted note, or our first finger that goes down, and that is on the 3rd space, and that's how we're going to do the C chord. So it's not too tricky. It's only a 1-finger chord. And for that reason, if we look at the tab lines underneath, we're going to have 3 zeros and 1 3. So reading it from the bottom to the top, we have 0. And even though we're going to play it on the ukulele top to bottom, on the page we're going to read it bottom to top, and we're going to have 0, 0, 0, and then 3. I don't know why I sang that note. So now what I'm going to show you is Row, Row, Row Your Boat in the advanced way with that chord switch. So we're going to go from F to C, way back to F, and then I'm going to stop, and then we're going to show you one last thing. Okay, so let's hear how that sounds. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay, some of those notes are a little high for me, but that's okay. I don't think I'm going to go pro with Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about on this page is at the very end of the song, right next to that word dream, which is, you can see the lyrics are underneath the page, and I've given you 2 different versions of the lyrics, either merrily, 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 life is but a dream, or if you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream, which I'm sure I would not. It would come very naturally to me. And what we have, just to the right of that, to the left of those 2 black lines, we have 2 black dots. And what those black dots are telling you is that they want you to return to the beginning of this piece and play it all one more time. So 2 black dots is what we call a repeat sign. So we're going to now try this song 2 times. I'm going to try it the advanced way, and I'm going to do it with maybe with the new lyrics. What do you think of that? Okay, let's give it a shot. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Ah! Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm also going to put up a shorter video, which doesn't have any instructions, of just me playing the song, and I'll link to that on your pages as well. Okay, see you guys next week.